Cam, how would you sum up the game from yesterday?
Manageable for the first half, collapse in the second half. Offensive side of the ball, we were dealing with this defense side of the ball. A couple missed tackles equals major explosive plays. Got to be able to get off the field. First half was able to contain Baker. Clearly, when he was contained, made a couple of errant throws. We had success on defense. Second half, a completely different story. You saw a couple of escapes out the middle pocket, which we knew he was going to do, and tried to eliminate that. Didn't. A couple tackles didn't happen our way, and somehow you end up with what they end up with 590-something freaking yards in a game, and it's embarrassing.
How does it get corrected? Is it as simple as
tackle? Yeah, for sure. It's more effort. It's giving more. You watch the film. You're like, if only we had made one extra play as a defensive line, one extra play here, one extra play there. A loss like that, everybody's got their hand in it. Nobody's clean in this game, past game.
Cam, you just use the word effort, and a lot of people ask questions when they see a performance like that. Quit, effort, like, what's your...
I don't think there's my teammates, there is no such thing as quit. There is definitely a perception that will be that, especially when you're on a 4-game losing streak. You have to be able to get into a win column. That means paying attention to the minor details. You could say there's 40 great snaps. You can also say that this game there was 12 or 15 bad snaps, and you can't have bad snaps against an NFL level team.
Cam, what does the veteran leadership on the team need to play right now?
Whatever it takes. I mean, if it's got to be the hammer, if it's got to be the energy, it's got to be whatever it is. There's an opportunity to give more. I think again with knowing the game we were coming into last game, we knew we was going to have to lead the turnover battle, and that didn't happen. We ended up having 3 turnovers to their 4. How many turnovers did they have? Not worried about them. We could have had more, but that was all in the first half. We needed more in the second half.
Cam, did they do anything schematically, offensively in the second half differently?
No, I think we're always going to put it on us. We weren't as effective the second half. Schematics, whatever it is, just they dialed up a couple of the right plays. And again, when you have to get somebody down, you have to get somebody down. It's always got to be the players take over.
How challenging is it or rather, what's the process of kind of fixing the tackling concern when you
in a short week? I'll say it's frustrating to have that, because typically, we addressed it last week, we emphasized it last week, and it showed up again. So now it's no longer just a quick issue; it's a glaring problem that we have to solve in the next 48 hours before we go take the field in 72. So that's going to be very interesting to see how that gets done. But that's just it. Now it's clearly something that's been brought up twice now. And it has to be corrected.
Cam, is the run defense issues, can you just pin that on poor tackling, or is there other stuff?
It's a little bit of everything. Again, when you have a loss like this, it's clearly a little bit of everything. It's gap integrity. It's everything that you list as a defense that you want to be proud of that did not happen in a few plays. There's a play that defensive end should have levered something, should have spilled something. There was obviously issues to where a gap was created and they took advantage of it.
Cam, I know you're focused on what y'all need to do, but at the same time, do you have any thoughts on Sean coming back on Thursday?
We just broke down the film as a D-line on this last game, and then tried to turn the page to focus on Denver. Can't even give it a proper 24-hour due processing-wise, but clearly, Bo Nix is playing decent enough for them to win. Have just started on them, so I'll know more by later on today about what they do. But clearly, they bolstered up their offensive line, paid a couple of guys, got some guys in, and they've had some success. So it's going to be on us to, again, whatever it takes to get into the win column, because right now we're in a L column.
But any thoughts about facing the guy who coached you for most of your career?
Yeah, he's going to be fired up. I mean, everybody in this building knows who Sean Payton is, and if he sees blood in the water, he's going to go try and take advantage. And that's always been his MO. So we're not helping deter that at this point with the last game that we just put on. So
is there blood in the water right now? Like, how do you kind of
590 something yards from a Bucks offense where we should have taken advantage in so many different ways and did not. It's put it on us. We have to figure out how to win in the next 72.
Cam, also, you guys rank last in the NFL in yards allowed for the season too. I mean, is that a number that kind of shocks your system a little bit?
Clearly not proud of that number. I mean, you start off strong the first 2 games to now have a 4-game slide. Again, it's going to take everybody and anybody to get back into what we consider a good position.
Cam, there have been years in the past where tackling was a big issue for a few games. Has there ever been any rhyme or reason as to why that happens all of a sudden, and is there an easy fix to it?
I typically don't remember year-to-year situations. I'm focused on this next win because it'll be the next important game. But I could see how in years prior, somewhere in there's going to be a game that you'd be like, oh man, I wish we got a tackle back. 2 back-to-back games, no, I don't know if I can say in recent memory you'd have problems like that. But again, we have a chance to outperform, now what the expectation is. We have to reset our level of standard.
Clearly, X's and O's wise and technique wise, 72 hours is far less than ideal to get things squared away.
Maybe, but maybe that's what you need.
Is it better maybe to be able
You get to turn the page that much faster. Absolutely, yeah. Maybe that is what's needed to be able to get back on the field and prove that we are the defense that we wanted to be. In these last 2 games, that's just not where we were. It's a long season still. There's still 11 games left, right? 12. I don't know our record right now. I know we're not happy 2-4. So with 11 games left, we have to be able to be better than we've been in the last few games.
Is there almost, I'm not trying to reduce what you just said, so don't let me do that, but is there almost like a not having to wait until Sunday, like you still go into Thursday kind of
Pissed.
off?
Yeah. Yeah.
Something to that.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a game that you like to stomach. You turn on the film, it's like, man, you're going to look at, again, 30 or 40 plays, you're like, this is what needs to be the standard, and you're going to look at 10 or 15, like, this can never hit the tape, and yet it has. There's 5 or 6 explosive plays. Use it 5 or 6 is an obscene amount in a game.
I'm curious about the mentality of the rest of the team. It seems like the people that we've spoken to so far are
Pissed
very
off?
pissed off, but also pointing back themselves as opposed
Absolutely.
to pointing to anybody else. How important is that?
Look, why point out? What is pointing out going to do for us? We have the right people in their building. We could, there's always built-in excuses. If we were healthy, there's no time for if we have to be now.